No film should be revised based on the lenses we now are either voluntarily or being forced to peer through.
Ladies and gentlemen, the pioneer of the modern blockbuster, one Stevie-Berg-Uv-Spiel, has spoken out against censorship. And it's glorious. So Time magazine held a Time 100 summit in New York City at the end of April. It was supposed to be the 100 most influential people of 2023, according to Time magazine, I think. I don't really know. I don't really give a fuck. But what I do care about, Time held a masterclass with Steven Spielberg that's about 20 minutes long. You can find it on YouTube.
Indubitably.
I enjoyed it. And in particular, what I found the most interesting was this little 2-minute chunk about regret of going back and tinkering with his past work. Specifically, Enos Tenus, the erectile terrestrial.
Are there films you would edit that you would, looking back at them, something you would have done differently? I know at one point you took some guns out of ET and then regretted it.
That was a mistake. That was a mistake. ET was a film that I was sensitive to the fact that the federal agents were approaching a bunch of kids with their firearms exposed. And I thought I would change the guns into walkie-talkies.
He changed the firearms that what were they, detectives, police officers, men in black? I don't remember, it was a long time ago. But whatever they were, they used guns, firearms. It made it more tense. It was also practical. I mean, if my youngin' was kidnapped by a little ET and they were forming a gang and riding around causing mischief and mayhem, you bet your ass I would want the police to shoot that thing.
The fuck?
Split his wig wide open.
I should never have messed with the archive of my own work, and I don't recommend anybody really do that.
Minor tangent, but in M. Night Shyamalan's book, he spoke about the power of editing, and in so, he referenced the original E.T. This was more about how there were small changes made to scenes, and how each moment, each second, each millisecond, each frame that's either chopped off or left on has an impact to the overall flow of a movie. So a lot of times when people go back to change it, mainly I can think of Spielberg and Lucas.
It's gonna be great.
It's gonna be great.
That's gonna be great.
They also fuck that up too by doing their alterations. Besides, like, you know, the Han Greedo thing of literally changing a character-defining moment and making essentially the Han Solo a different character by doing that.
Scoundrel.
Scoundrel.
It also fucks with the feng shui, the rhythm, the flow. That all gets diminished also, and that's overlooked.
All our movies are a kind of measuring, it's sort of a signpost of where we were when we made them.
The movie's about a children's world through their eyes and about things that happened to them in contemporary, suburban living.
And what the world was like, what the world was receiving when we got those stories out there. So I really regret having done that.
Wait, did you hear that? Did you hear that? Did I hear that?
I really regret having done that.
You feel that way about, this is such a current topic across literature and art in general, taking certain language out of Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. Is this a
Charlie and the Chocolate Factory?
Across the world of art that we shouldn't apply today's standards to yesterday's work?
Charlie and the frickin' Chocolate Factory.
What happened? Did we do something wrong?
I don't know, Charlie.
They're censoring Charlinus and the Chocolate Phoenix? Okay, from Entertainment Weekly. Earlier this week, Penguin's British division, Puffin Books, announced that they had teamed up with sensitivity readers. Isn't that hilarious? You don't have to see them, but you know what they look like. Among other edits, these editions deleted words like fat, ugly, black, white, mad, and crazy in an effort to make them less offensive for contemporary readers. One example of the newly modified text was Charlie and the Chocolate Factory describing Augustus Gloop as enormous instead of the original 1964 version's enormously fat.
All the kids at school call me fat.
You're not fat. You're big boned.
That's what I said.
Now, what if
Jelly belly.
I'm sensitive to the fact,
Fatty.
as someone who's
Shitty titty jelly belly.
enormously fat,
Fat boy.
definitely morbidly obese.
Big old jiggly fatty boy.
Definitely. What if I'm sensitive to the fact that I'm not being recognized if you remove fat from enormously?
Nobody should ever attempt to take the chocolate out of Willy Wonka, ever. You know, and they shouldn't take the chocolate or the vanilla or any other flavor out of anything that has been written. It is absolutely, for me, it is sacrosanct. It's something that is our history. It's our cultural. It's our cultural heritage.
It's our history. It's our cultural heritage.
It's our cultural heritage.
Warts and all.
Yeah, I do not believe in censorship that way.
I do not believe in censorship that way. I paused it right before the whole fucking place erupts. And they all yelled. I'm guessing, of course, that finally, I can feel the goosebumps coming, especially when that whole place erupts. It's gonna be electric. Let's give it a gander.
It's our cultural heritage.
Warts and all.
Yeah, I do not believe in censorship that way. Okay.
Wow. Was that just one timid person? Woo! Yeah.
Okay.
And then maybe at tops, maybe 10, I would say more like 3, 4, 5 people that just clapped. And then they weren't sure if they were supposed to clap. And Spielberg was actually a little scared after that, like, oh, am I going to be able to have a job again after saying rational, logical things publicly? Because a lot of times you can't. Okay? There was probably people there ready to pull out their pitchforks and comb through every single second and minute of Spielberg's movies and interviews to find a reason to cancel him. There's probably at least one person who thought that when they heard, you want to leave the chocolate in Charlie and the Chocolate Factory?
This is all wrong. People are suffering.
Oh,
How dare you?
I can't believe it.
Shall we roll on?
And now I'm sure some people would say, they'd point out the obvious of the fact that decades ago, South Park ripped Spielberg and Lucas a brand new yoo-hoo because of the tinkering they were up to.
Why the hell do these directors keep updating their movies?
And now for your feature presentation, the classic re-release of Star Wars The Empire Strikes Back. In this version, the word Wookiee has been changed to hair-challenged animal, and the entire cast has been digitally replaced by Ewoks.
That's just the tip of the iceberg. It's a whole episode dedicated to it. I mean, they freaking eviscerated the two of them. And so granted, a couple decades ago, that comes out, roughly. And some people say, well, it took him long enough to realize the error in his ways, But you're missing the point. Which the point is, when you have someone who would unequivocally be on the Mount Rushmore of filmmaking, speaking out against this, that goes a long way. See what we got. Do not bend. It's one small step for Spielberg, but one giant leap for future filmmakers or even his peers. This is fucking sweet. To hear one of the top dogs is putting his name and his reputation behind this statement. I think that's incredible. Could this one be Spielberg? I also think it's very brave, even though what he said is common sense. We kind of live in times where emotions rule everything. It'll be annoying if this isn't Spielberg. So while it does seem odd to celebrate someone for saying something obvious, it is needed in the current zeitgeist of American arts, which includes cinema, literature, paintings, etc. You know what fucking art is, you fuck. I had to guess. This is the George Lucas one. That's so fucking cool.
My name is Steve Spielberg, and I just directed a movie called Jaws.
He is unstoppable. He has this unbelievable, unshakable confidence in an idea.
Spielberg is becoming a brand name. You will get your $4.50, your $5 worth in his pictures.
He understands the craft of making movies better than anyone I know.
He wants to make movies that everybody, everywhere, can enjoy today, tomorrow, and 25 years from now.
He pushes human beings to the limit. He challenges the human spirit. And most of all, there is a defiance that says that in the end, the human spirit wins.
So, hats off to you, Mr. Spielberg, and I appreciate you saying that. I thank you. Ooh. See, I'm starting to second guess. Because this gun has hit me in the face, and I blame it for spilling my McCoffee also. You know what, I changed my mind. Ban all guns from real life and from movies, replace them with walkie-talkies.